Hi, this is Ruth Theresa with One Inspiring Woman, and today we are celebrating parents as teachers. Hi, my name is Ruth Theresa with One Inspiring Woman. I'm an intuitive psychic medium here in the Sugar Land area. That's just outside of Houston. I work with my angels and guides to assist my clients in many areas of their lives, to bring them special messages from loved ones who have passed, to dialogue with their angels for guidance into their own situation, or to assist them with their own psychic abilities. If you like my content, please make sure to subscribe, like, and comment. That's right. One of the things that I've really enjoyed learning about is several of the national days and kind of like the history of them. I think this is really interesting. So this concept was kind of developed in the 1970s in Missouri, and it's kind of like talking about like how our educators are kind of like the second teachers for our kids. And I just think this concept is kind of like, seriously? Of course, we're our number one teacher for our kids. We teach our kids everything. We teach our kids how to deal with other people, how to deal with relationships, how to get dressed, how to brush your teeth, how to the funniest one is like trying to teach my kids like how to blow their nose. That was like the funniest thing I think I ever taught my kids how to do. But we are our kids' number one teacher, no matter what. No matter if we're homeschooling them or if we're not, we are our kids' number one teacher, no matter what else is happening. They watch us, like I said, in relationships, how we deal with our family members, how we deal with our friends, how we deal with other people, how we deal with our coworkers. They kind of hear and see it all, but they also feel it. And one of the things that's really important is to understand is that we are not only teaching them how to be adults and how to deal with life and how to do all of those things, but we're also teaching them how to deal with their psychic abilities. And when we kind of push our psychic abilities off to the side, it lets them know that it's okay to do that as well. I think that's really interesting because so many kids are being born today that have amazing abilities, being able to sense, feel, hear, communicate on the other side really, really, really well. But if their parents don't know how to do it, it's one of those, like, I don't know how to teach you. And I often tell my students, it's one of those, if your mom and dad didn't know how to ride a bike, they can't teach you how to ride a bike. If they don't have control over their abilities or understand their abilities even a little bit, they can't teach you that. Someone can't teach you something they don't know. If they don't know how to make bread from scratch, they can't teach you how to do it. Now you can get a recipe and you can do some other things and learn, but someone else can't teach you something they don't know. It's a really interesting concept. So as our kids' parents, we are the number one teacher. No matter what else is going on with them, we are their number one teacher. And one of the things I found was really interesting is how many people are homeschooling compared to in the past. Now, if you've known me for a while, I did homeschool my kids for a couple of years until I got really sick a long time ago. But it's one of those, I really enjoyed homeschooling my kids, and I really enjoyed learning with them and kind of learning different concepts and being able to break them down and teach them to my kids. I think that was really interesting and really fun as well. But between 1999 and 2012, about 3.3% of all the American households that had school-age children homeschooled. This fall, that number is 11.1% of all the families that have kids, school-age kids, are being homeschooled right now. That is a lot, and it's a big jump in a short period of time. So if you are your parent, your kids' teachers, one of the things to keep in mind is they're watching everything that you do. Good, bad, or indifferent, they're learning everything that they can from you. And if you don't know something, make sure you're doing the research and finding out how to teach them or how to break this down for them. So let's pull a couple of angel cards and let's see what messages we can get about being our kids' number one teacher. I think that's really important. The first one I get is dreams. I think most of us really think that homeschooling can be really difficult. Homeschooling can be really hard, but it really isn't. I think like once you realize how to do the lessons and how to get things in order, and what do you really want to teach them, what do you want to break down and teach them, break it into parts of like, this is how you do this, or this is how you write a report, or this is the beginning of it, or this is how you do this part. I think that's the really cool fun part. That's the fun part, is to have that interaction with them and learn how they learn and kind of understand that. It makes it much easier. Next is divine guidance. You were chosen as your child's divine leader. They chose you and you chose them to learn certain life lessons. And so if you chose this child, if that child chose you, even if it's adopted or anything else, that child chose you. You chose them. Teach them the best you can, and teach them to be an amazing adult. Teaching them how to overcome circumstances around them, how to kind of kick off the dust and keep going on, is some of the best life lessons that I think I ever taught anybody. Freedom. When you homeschool your kids, you have this amazing freedom to kind of not only teach what school would teach them, but it's one of those to teach them other things that are important to you. Teaching them how to prepare a meal, or how to cook something, or how to garden, or any of those things. Those are the fun parts. Gardening is fun to teach your kids. Teaching them how to prepare food, how to cook food, even how to make something as easy as scrambled eggs, or beanies and weenies, or whatever it is. It's like, those are the fun parts. That's the fun part of teaching your kids. Teaching them how to use a knife and how to use a fork and a spoon. All of those fun things that can be so exciting to teach your kids, because every time you do, you're teaching them what type an amazing adult they are going to be. I think that is the most fun ever. I thank you so much for joining me today, and I know that we'll be talking again soon.